we are back. We are live and we are in full effect, baby. In living color. So what's going on, folks? Yes. It has been a while. It has been a while. I hope everybody out there is doing good in these immensely amazing times that we are living in these days. Man, what a time to be alive, right? But I hope everything is going good and great in your prospective lives. And oh, let me get a little water here. One thing I know for a fact is that, no matter what, you gotta keep moving. Like, there it's interesting. I mean, you take a day off here and there, but it's like no matter what happens in your life, you gotta keep moving. Life will throw you some curveballs, man. It will, and you have to adjust, and you just gotta keep it pushing, so to speak. But yeah, again, man, I hope everybody out there is doing I hope everybody out there is doing amazing, man. And and whatever it is that you have going on. So today we are talking about to truly be chosen. That is, in like you read these stories in the Bible of how these, people went through stuff, and people who become well known for something and all of that stuff. But I think it's more of the trials that you have to go through, and it's the cycles that you are. It's almost like the cycles that you are like chosen to break. That's the immense thing about it. Um, like you could go to people who can, look at your life and say, "Oh man, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be that, this is gonna happen." But it's like the timetable. Like it's, people say it's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen, or it's you some people I heard guys say, you can put a timetable on it. You could put a time. I think you could put a timetable on things that like a goal, you know, but like the super big immense things that's supposed to happen. I think it is one of those things where naturally it's just supposed to happen when it happens, and you have to be patient like with the process, especially like if you it when it's like it when it's just you, like imagine going through, like if you are like a chosen one or something like that, and or what let's say if you're one of the anointed and you have this massive calling on your life, but there's still real life, and there's still things that that you have to go through. There are things that people just aren't gonna understand, but on the outside looking in, like you're that person going through that stuff. And then you have all of these people, or real person with you that's kind of going through it with you. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how you look at that. But I was never one out like my problems to be anybody else's problems. Like I just, but as you get older, that changes, and but it's like I think it just gets to a point where you just want to get to the good stuff. You just want to, I know, put in that work and all that. I get all that, man. But I think it just gets to the point where you're like, okay, well, I've done this, I've done that. I've tried. Hold on, let me charge this phone up. Give me a second here, folks. It's like I tried this, I tried that. But I think it's the interesting thing is that in a sense of it, it's almost like you have to keep going and keep moving and keep trying. It's like I don't know ultimately if there's a script for this. I'm not really sure like if there's a script. You could go to prophets, psychics, tarot readers, all that. You could hear all of this great news, but in the thick of it, it's naturally you going through all of the stuff. You know, that's the that's the interesting thing about it. You know, it's like you're the one who's like you're the one who's like going through it. You know, you're the one who has to figure it out, and it's almost like you got to figure it out on the fly. And it's like the kid. You know, I always say the kid in you has to be protected at all times. Just like the kid in you. It's like the kid in you is like, oh, when are we gonna get to the fun and the travel and just living life like when is life just gonna be like when it's just automatic things. Even though I guess when you get to certain levels, certain things are gonna come with it. That's understandable. It's like you always hear these stories about people who get all this money and end up going broke, and it's like that is insane to hear stuff like that, man. When it's like, oh, I had $2 in my bank account, and then I became a millionaire, and now it ain't, that's crazy, man. But I guess it's all in what you're doing to get it, or it's all in how you're getting it. So, but one thing I can say is that, in the midst of it, for me, I am still thankful, and I, I keep it moving, man. You have to keep it moving. You know, the people in churches to say, well, just keep getting older, and all that. And I truly get it. I truly understand that. Life is sometimes it is about perspective. It is about how you view it and how you see it, and what you do, how you handle it, because you do have to be calm, cool, and collected. You do. It's so easy these days to just want to fly off the handle, want to give up. Just I I hear stories about people who just don't want to be here anymore, and I understand, man. I'm not saying you know whatever and whatever, but I get it. I do. Let me see something. Trying to make sure this thing stays charged up. Yeah, but I do. I understand it. Like that guy always says, I understand it now. I do. Like I truly do. I truly get it. Like it's like they said that song says in that movie. It's hard out here for a pimp. It's I think it's a little interesting, which I've seen where hard work can pay off, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to help other people with their stuff, and it makes you feel good, even though nobody throws you a parade or anything. It's what it is, and but it comes back to you where you have to refocus on yourself. You have to refocus on you. You got to pick yourself up. You got to keep moving. You can have everybody, you can have everybody in the world on your side, man. You can. I used to watch, the news way back when. It used to be like, six on your side, call the investigative reporter, blah, 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 blah. You can do all of that. But yet, I guess, what's the saying? Will profit a man to gain the world, something, or lose his soul, something like that. But, it's interesting because it's almost like you're preparing for this life and the end of the life after this. So it's it gets really real, and it gets really interesting out here. But one word for me that's always like there is like perspective. It's really it's really and truly, it really truly is. It's blah blah blah. It really is just like how you're viewing it, or or lack thereof, and how how you see yourself, because I am I'm a writer and an author, and um, even though I haven't written a book in a few years, I need to get back on that, and I heard a, heard a guy yesterday said, "Man, these jobs don't care about you, and you gotta, you know." But it's the truth, though. You have to. If you're anything spiritual, if you know anything about that, it's like we're at a time where it's almost like we live this physical existence, but it is a large percentage of it is spiritual. How you're seeing it, how you're handling it, your vision, and and all of that good stuff. It is very true, man, and it is very 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 sensible. It really and truly is. Everybody everybody, you watch all these people online, and everybody's saying something different. Some people are saying the same stuff, but it's like everybody feels like they have the magic formula, and a lot of them don't. You know, yeah, believe in yourself, and all of that stuff. Not, don't pay attention. Try not to pay attention to what's going on in the world, because you'll lose your mind. You will, if you try to focus on everything that's happening on the news, and in your just in your neighborhood, or in your city or state, or whatever. You it is, these are like crazy times that we're living in. Really really is crazy times that we're living in. But the beautiful thing about it is that hey, we're alive. We still got another chance, another day, another shot at it. We're still figuring it out. We're still pushing. You know, we're moving forward with just moving forward with life, man. I think that's the thing about it. For me, even the people around me, I want to see the best for them. I do. I really do. But within that, the top priority is that you gotta want to see the best for yourself, though. Also, and those, and it's like give and take. It's that tribe that you've always wanted. It's like that tribe that you've always wanted. They're finally coming in. That tribe that looks out for you, looks out for your best. Probably sometimes wants the best for you more than they want for themselves. That's the interesting thing. It's like I heard something. What's that? Like Queen Latifah said. She said, man, this has been a rough year, and I'm thinking to myself, like, well, you're an actress making, all of this money. How could the year be rough for you? And then something she said, when I'm not, she said, when I'm working, it's like 200 other people are working too. And that hit me, man. That really hit me. I said, yeah, okay, I'll understand that. Like when her, like her show or not, but it's like when she's working, you have all of these other people working. I guess it's that whole Hollywood thing, and how Hollywood is kind of like slowing down and shutting down. It's like things are changing. So it's like, you in a sense, you have to change with the times. You do. It's almost like because we are always steadily growing. We are always, every day, every second, every minute, we are always growing, and that is just what that is. You know, that is just very naturally profound. I understand it. I get it, and we have to push to do better. Within our lives, we really do. We have to push to grow, to get there, because it's at that point. It's like you have to want it. Like you have to really want it bad enough for you. You have to. I know, like it is. I know some people are in just some situations. I'll just say that. But again, it's really in how you're looking at it. It's everybody can have their opinions. They can feel how they feel. That is what that is. Um, I try to not let other people's emotions rattle me, but sometimes easier said than done. But the important thing is, you get up. You gotta keep going, man. No matter what, greater is coming when you just when you have that feeling that, man, you know what, there are other greater opportunities. Like I said, it's all in how you see it. It's really all in how you see it. Like, what are your gut feelings telling you about the situation? Is it the end? Is your funeral tomorrow? No, it's not. It's another day to get up and move. Okay, but like I said, everybody's not gonna understand your situation because you're the one going through this. Especially if you have a very sophisticated higher calling on your life. You trying to explain that to people is like, I don't know, trying to teach somebody like nuclear physics, like seriously, for real. And these may be people that pray and believe, and it's like they're so in a natural. They're not going to, they'll never get it. That's just what that is. So, but you have to be the bear. You have to be the torch bearer. You have to keep your light burning no matter what. You got to keep going because you know what you've been told, and that you just like it's like what you know. That's the um I'm kidding, that song so about bare necessity. Yeah, you have to bear it. You really have to grin and bear it, and you gotta move on and not worry about what other people have going on in their lives, and or whatever. And you just gotta figure that thing out, man. You do. Or help those, or let those that ride with you help you, because you don't have to carry this alone, especially if you walk, and especially if you walk in a very high spiritual sense. You don't, you don't have to carry this alone. um I'm a little tired of hearing other people's stuff going on, but anyway, to truly be chosen, man, it comes with a lot. It really does. It comes with so much. Oh my goodness, I can't really sit here and stress and tell you all of the things I've had to overcome and do and help people with, and a lot of that stuff I forget. A lot of that stuff I forget, man, because. And the thing is that you really, it's interesting because you don't know how much you've helped people, how much you've impacted people, because if you look at it by social media standards, like this thing says, zero people watching. Maybe they'll watch it after. It's not sure, but I'm sure they will. But it's like, you're like, well, you're on social media, and if nobody's watching your live, then you know what I'm saying. It's interesting, man. It really is. But this the interesting thing is like you don't. I don't know. It's like a lot of this stuff. They say we come down here and do something. I'm not sure, but I don't know, man. It's like the stuff that sometimes you go through. You don't ask for that. You don't ask for that. You. I know you might say suck it up and all that stuff, but it's like you it's like you go to your job. It's like the same. It's like the same cycle. You go, you try to do your best, and you still getting picked on and this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of stuff you just don't ask for. You don't. And it's like you try, man. You really try, and it is a what is that in Greek mythology, Sisyphus in the underworld, where he has to push that boulder up the thing, and he gets it like right there, but it goes back down. He has to start the process all over again. But the beautiful thing, I would say is like the beautiful thing about the process is that you have the knowledge, you have that knowledge that you didn't have before. That's the thing. You do. You really and truly, you have that knowledge that like, okay, cool. I've overcame this before, so I can do it again. That's the I think that's really and truly like the important thing. But yeah, you gotta have such a strong mindset, man. But beautiful things are yet to come, though. You know, but sometimes in those moments, it's like, ooh, man, it's crazy. It really is. But but yeah, I think I'm gonna holla at y'all. But if y'all see this, don't forget to subscribe. I'll be coming back on live more often and stuff like that. But yeah, man. But yeah, it's Friday, man. Happy TGIF out there, everybody. Getting ready for the weekend. It's got that to look forward to, right? But all right, y'all. I'm gonna holla at y'all. Peace.